All right, speaking of the pandemic and COVID, students all around the country are staging walkouts. I'm sure you've heard about this. It's all over Facebook. Yesterday, students in St. Paul, Minnesota walked out of class to protest how their district was handling the Omicron surge. Similar protests have happened in Denver, Oakland, Boston, New York, Portland. Now, a lot of these protests are being organized online, like this Instagram account for walkouts in New York. The students say they feel left out of the conversation about COVID school safety, and they're asking for things like remote learning options, better quality masks, regular testing, and just a safe space to go eat lunch, like an outdoor space. Obviously, that's dependent on where you live in the region with weather. But Al, here we go again. I mean, I'm proud of these students, but I'm also ashamed as an adult that the students are the ones leading the charge with climate change. They're leading the charge with gun violence. Now they're leading the charge with COVID safety, because they're the ones that have to deal with it.
Well, that's exactly it, Sam. You said everything in that last sentence. They're the ones that have to deal with it. We, the four adults on this telecast right now, we can hypothesize and this and that and him and haw, but when we're done with this, we can go back to our lives. They have to go back to school with kids that they know and have known for years are possible school shooters. They have to go back to school knowing that at least 2 or 3 kids in the hallway with them have COVID. So do their teachers. They have to go to school with all this. They have to live with all the stuff we tell them. I remember, Sammy, when there was one of the many school shootings we were covering a couple years ago, before we were on lockdown, and the students tried to do a walkout, and the school had threatened them with suspension. And I think that right there encapsulated everything that we need to know about how that generation views us as adults now. They look at us as things to need to be circumnavigated, to go around. We will not do anything about gun violence, so they will. We will not do anything about the environment, so Greta Thunberg at 9 years old has to. And this is the mentality. They have grown up now, and they are all almost adults. All the kids from Parkland are adults, and we're about to see how they run things, because we can't treat them like kids because they never got the benefit to be kids.
I mean, what more do you add to that? And I mean, in terms of leading by example, that used to be the way, right? As adults, you would lead by example for the children. Well, that's not even happening, because most adults and most corporations haven't even decided how they want to handle the COVID situation, how they want to handle work from home or a hybrid situation. So it's not surprising that adults aren't focusing on the children when we can't get our acts together. When I look at that video of those kids walking out, it's like, yes, we say that there's a school walkout, but the youth factor, these are young kids. Some of them, I mean, you know, like all of them, they're all under 18, but like, look, I mean, these are babies, okay? You know, like making these decisions. And also it tells you a lot that they're walking out in the cold elements, stating to us and to people who are actually in positions of power that they need to be heard. And the idea that children are to be seen and not heard is a very antiquated idea. They have more of a grasp on how to get messaging out. They have more of a grasp on how to talk to the masses than most of their adults in their lives. Yeah. So yes, there needs to be a format for children to be heard.
All of the adults in their lives.
Well, the adults, a lot of their...
I was just agreeing with you. I would argue they know how to do it better than all the adults in their lives. Please continue. I'm sorry.
No, and Tori, I want to hear your opinion. I just wanted to give Tori this caveat, because you always talk about your mom and protecting her, right? A lot of the interviews that I watch of these students, they'll say, listen, I'll be in a crowded hallway, and then I think about my grandmother at home who's autoimmune compromised, who can't get vaccinated or is too sick. I mean, Tori, yes, these students are doing it for their own personal protection, but they're also trying to protect their families and their fellow neighbors.
You said it beautifully. All of you said it. It's shame on us. We have failed these students. We haven't done it. It's not like it's new. Remember civil rights, student walkouts, student sit-ins. Those students changed the world. David Hogg, the people at Parkland, they created legislation and they're going to run for Congress. These students know how to organize socially. They know how to digitally get quickly organized, and they know how to spread a movement faster than any of our Congress people could do anytime. So I hope they run, and I hope for our future that these people are in charge, not us, because shame on us.
Beautifully said. You gave me chills, Tori. Amen.